Live from Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm John Abba.
I see Dave Chappelle struggle on stage a lot, and people allow it because he's Dave Chappelle.
It looks like Corey Holcomb is holding nothing back in his latest interview with Atlanta radio host Ryan Cameron. The veteran comedian would make an appearance on Cameron's show in order to promote a then upcoming show in Atlanta. During the interview, Holcomb would defend former NFL star Cam Newton when it came to his interview with Dr. Sheehan Bryant. He would accuse Bryant of lying on him when she was a guest on The Breakfast Club. Now, additionally, Holcomb would reflect on his issues that would blow up on TMZ with Donnell Rawlings from earlier this year. Back in February, both Holcomb and Rawlings would perform on a comedy show in Los Angeles. According to Holcomb, Rawlings was slated to headline that show until he made a surprise appearance that night and took the stage after Rawlings. While on stage, Rawlings would shout at Holcomb, causing a back and forth between the two. The shouting match would hit its peak when Holcomb would call Rawlings' comedy mild. Now, during the interview, Holcomb would say he didn't say anything about Rawlings on stage and was confused as to why he would begin yelling at him during his set. However, Holcomb would admit to referencing Dave Chappelle, Donnell's good friend and collaborator, which may have set off Rawlings.
Because I don't know Donnell Rawlings real good, but whenever I would see Donnell Rawlings, I would always say, hey, brother, and it was always cool.
Right.
But that day, he couldn't control his envy because he was up at this little comedy club, and they had him as the headliner. But, you know, when I walk in, they be like, Corey, you want to go up? It hurt his little fragile ego so bad, he started heckling me from the crowd. And on top of that, I said something about Dave Chappelle. He's one of Dave Chappelle's guys where he probably wanted to impress Dave Chappelle. I see Dave Chappelle struggle on stage a lot, and people allow it because he's Dave Chappelle. If you go watch Dave Chappelle in these comedy clubs, it's brutal. It's bad because he's just up there smoking and talking. But me being a comic who I am, I said, man, you be bombing. I said that on my show. You be on stage, it's bad.
Now, from there, Holcomb would go on to reveal that he and Donnell eventually had a conversation several months later about what happened that night. Tensions between the two comedians seem to be good now, but in the interview, Holcomb stated if things ever got heated again, he would fight Donnell and win. Now, like Holcomb said, this isn't the first time he said this about Chappelle. Holcomb feels that Chappelle is using his celebrity as leverage to spend hours on stage, taking time away from several stand-up comedians. Clearly, Holcomb isn't a fan of Chappelle only smoking on stage while talking either. Holcomb's point does bring a real conversation to the forefront about stand-up comedy today, as more social media influencers use comedy as a way to connect with their audience. How much is comedy about seeing someone famous versus the ability to craft a joke from beginning, middle to end? So what do you guys think about Corey Holcomb calling out Dave Chappelle for bombing on stage and using his celebrity as leverage? Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Do you find it true? And stay up to date for the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel and follow Comedy Hype across all social media. Plus, if you want to make sure you catch all of our content, don't forget to hit the notification bell and select all to make sure you see all of our news that comes out. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget you can send us a super thanks by hitting the button below, and you can tip us what you want to show your support. Reporting live from Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm John Abba.